Welcome back to another video with the Hooded Cosplayer. Today I am recording the intro in my room because as of recording this video, we were moving stuff out of the basement and it's a mess, so I can't really do anything down there at this moment. But I made a mask in my bedroom. Here it is. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoy, and I hope that you can make these web shooters. So for the web shooter nozzle, I went to Hydrate or Dihydrate Spider-Man Raimi concept shooters and just 3D printed the nozzle twice. And then for the cartridges, I came over here to Sparky River 250's Homecoming web shooters and just printed the cartridge 10 times. And if you do not have have a 3D printer, you can easily make the cartridges out of cardboard and the tips out of a Sharpie marker cap. So that's a way you can do it if you don't have a 3D printer. Okay, so you want to make sure you have your elastic bands. So it could be whatever color you want, and how you're going to measure this is you're going to take your wrist, because a better way would be take measuring tape, put it around your wrist, and then sketch that out on the elastic band. But I do not know where ours is, so I'll be doing it like this. This is how I did my last ones, and they fit pretty alright. So you take your wrist, and then you just fold this over your wrist until it touches, and then keep your hand there, and you get something to mark it. There you go. Now that it's marked, you can go ahead and cut that out, and then wrap it around, and it should fit just fine. Now, for this next step, you have to at least know how to hand sew, at the very least. But I will be using a sewing machine. See? I'll be using a sewing machine for this. I'll not show you how to sew, but you need to at least know how to hand sew for this. And if you do have a sewing machine, well, that'll just make this process a whole lot easier for you. Well, for you, not for people who don't have a sewing machine. So, what you're going to do is you're going to take the ends of these. If you have pins, you just pin it. Just put these right next to each other. You take one of these needle things, if you've got them. Now, of course, you don't need them, but it does make it a lot easier. And then you just, I'm messing up over here. Overlap them, push it through, underneath, and then through there. And I messed up. There we go, just like that. Then under there. Okay. Please go watch a different video on how to put in needles. I don't even really know how to do it. I should probably watch a video. So, yeah, I'm a little dumb for not knowing how to do that. And I want to make costumes. Okay. So if you got this pinned in correctly, unlike me, you can just go ahead and sew it. But of course, if you're hand sewing, I don't really know if you need a pin or not. You know, I'm just not gonna use this. It's just confusing. Okay. Now I will be sewing the two ends together and then I'll make a circle like this. Just figure out. Oh, yep. There you go. Alright, so if you're using a sewing machine, fold it like this in half, then just sew the ends together. I'm just redoing the, what's the word? Oh yeah, I'm just redoing the web shooters from one of my previous videos where I made the homemade suit. So, I'm using all the same stuff, all the same files, all the same stuff. It's just I didn't really do very good on those last ones, and I'm just redoing it. So, sew it, and then once you get to that, get that, cut off the excess, like that. You should have that. And then you just do that twice, and you got the other one. Future me, just so you know, don't be afraid to use, you can use any color or thread that you want, because it's going to be covered up later. So if you're using black on black, that's totally fine. You can get a thread that matches the color. But I'm doing red on black, using red. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm using red thread. So, but it's going to be covered on black with another thing. The cartridge, if you see, yeah. Don't be afraid to do that, and you're gonna probably want to do a crotch stitch, which is like zigzag. You're gonna want to do zigzag stitch, or else you're gonna have to redo it multiple times, like I did. Or else it's gonna, like, the edges are gonna break apart. So you're gonna want to use cross, or it might not work, unless you are a master at sewing things. So, cross stitch, doesn't matter what thread. I use all-purpose thread because I'm still new to this. So, I use all-purpose because it's all-purpose. You could use it for anything. I'm not sure what thread would be used for this type of thing, but I use all-purpose. Future me, when you sew it, you want to turn it inside out so that it's flat, not raised. Inside out, and it's still comfortable. So now that you have your watches or the bands patched, it's time to make the cartridges. Okay, so now that you have your pieces printed out, the little cartridges, you can begin to paint them with if you have silver, great, but I don't, so I'll be using a light gray. Looks blue in the camera, but it's gray, I promise. I'll be using a light gray, and if you don't have a light gray, I'm sure you can just make some. Just mix a couple colors, and if you don't know how to make light gray, I am extremely worried about you. Extremely. I hope you know how to make light gray. If not, it's a lot of white and a little bit of black. But if you didn't know, I'm extremely worried. Extreme. Okay, so now that your paint on your web cartridges have dried, you can now glue these on the special tube. So take one cartridge, some glue, and just glue them on there. And if you're wondering, I scaled them down, I think 75%. Yeah, I scaled them down, I scaled down the tip 75% to fit the cartridge size. So just depending on what glue you're using, you might have to shake it up a bit. But I'm using Citadel plastic glue because we do Warhammer stuff sometimes. And just glue that on there. Just like that. Grab another one. Put some glue on the little rim of the nozzle right here on the back. And then just squish it on there. Boom. There we go. Now once that's dry, you can paint the nozzle along with the little base right here. You can paint all that, and then your cartridges are done. So now that you have your brand new homemade web shooters, I am really happy that I am able to share my technique on how to make web shooters with you guys. And elastic bands allow it to be very stretchy, so you can get them on and off with ease. So, I hope you like this, and I hope you expand upon this technique with your own, and maybe you will even make ones better than I do. I hope you guys liked it. I hope this was as informational as I want it to be. And if it's not, I will someday make a better one that goes more in depth if this was not in depth enough for you guys. And let's hope yours holds together, because my first ones did not, and that's because the sewing on it was bad. And with the sewing machine, I think the sewing turned out a lot better. Well, I hope you guys like this, and I'll see you guys next week.